and this is module 3 of the 5-step network marketing online blueprint. And in module 3, of course, we'll talk about step 3. But before we do that, again, let's make sure we put things into perspective, and we will sort of just go back to the traditional way of building your network marketing business. You remember we talked about the 5 steps. Step number 1 being invite, 2, present, 3, follow up, 4, close, and 5, duplicate and train. So it's in that context that we are going to move into module 3, because right now we want to be talking about a very crucial step, which again is step 3, the follow-ups. It's been said many times, and I believe that so strongly. My last 20 years of experience in the industry confirms this. In our business, the money is in the follow-ups. And you know, it is so surprising because to this day, so many associates do not know that, and they do not know how to do follow-ups. In fact, it is surprising that so many associates really think that they fail because they can't get a yes answer after their first presentation. They believe that most prospects should be so excited about their opportunity that they should be able to say yes right then and there, say yes right on the spot. And we all know that's not the way that's not the way it works. In fact, you know, some observations in the industry will tell us that, you know, it will take anywhere between 5 to 7 follow-ups after the presentation, after the conversation. 5 to 7 follow-ups so that a prospect is getting close to the point where he or she is getting comfortable at making a decision. Whether the decision is yes or no, that's another matter. And on that point, I just want to say, you know, really our job is to bring a prospect to a point where they feel comfortable to make a decision, where they have enough information, they have been educated enough about your opportunity, about your product or service that they can say yes or no, but for the right reasons. And then again, remembering that not everybody is suited for your opportunity. So bring that back to after the conversation, after the presentation, after the storytelling is done, then most prospects, 95% of prospects, will need more time, will want more time to discuss that with their spouse, to think about their strategy, to think about the future, to think about their goals, to digest some of the information that you've shared with them. But again, very few prospects will decide right then and there. Yet, for so many associates, again, they feel like it's a letdown. They think that they've done a good presentation, and they may have done a good presentation. But again, it's the ability to manage expectations, and for all of us to understand that follow-ups is very, very much part of the entire or the overall prospecting process. It's a 5-step process, not just 4-step process. Follow-up being one very crucial, one very important step in this prospecting cycle. So I'd like to talk about managing expectations, both from an associate perspective and as well from a prospect perspective. And that is from an associate. Few people have a system in place. Few people know what to expect. Few people have a strategy in place. And so what do they need? They just need to know, again, that most prospects will not make a decision on the spot, and it will take time, not weeks or months, but it will take several days. In my mind, a very good time frame for a full prospecting cycle from inviting all the way to the decision-making point, you're looking at about 7 to max 14 days. So 1 to 2 weeks is typically what it would take for a good, effective, non-aggressive prospecting cycle. And you can do that online, and we'll show you how to do that. But the first step is to understand that. So some people say, worst case scenario is you do a presentation, you do a conversation, and at the end, the prospect says, okay, I need some time to think about it. And you say, of course, no problem. So you go home and I'll touch base with you. If that was the scenario, then the prospect does not know when, how you are going to get in touch with them. And you feel like, okay, is tomorrow too fast? or maybe should I wait until Friday, let a week go by? So it's basically just random, and random does not really work in any type of business. So managing the expectations. And so I like to say the approach when I'm working with new associates, when they do a presentation, they tell their prospect, okay, Mary, so you take this information home, or I'll send you this hyperlink, or I'll send you a video. You think about it, and here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow night is 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock good for you? If they say yes, you say, okay, I'm going to give you a quick call, and I'm going to ask you to do me a big favor. When you see my number on your phone, please pick up. I just want to know if you had a chance to digest the information, if you have any questions, and I will do my very best to answer the questions, or if I don't have the answer for you, I will get it. And that is the only thing that I want to do with you tomorrow. So please do me a favor. When I call 7 o'clock sharp tomorrow, can you pick up? And they'll say yes, or I'm not sure. But it's one good way to, again, manage the expectations, because now your prospect, Mary in this case, I guess, she understands that she is not going to be under pressure to say, yes or no about your opportunity. So it's sort of a good strategy for you and for your prospect. But it's more than that. It's not just the first follow-up. Again, it will take anywhere between 5 to 7 follow-ups before the prospect feels comfortable about making a decision. And so if there's no system in place, if there's no frequency in place, if we don't know what to say on follow-up 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, this is where it's getting a little bit scary. And for a lot of people, they feel that it's very time-consuming and it's dragging. But it doesn't have to be like that. Whether, again, the traditional way, or even better yet, when you do this online, it does not have to be that way. But there must be a strategy in place to make sure that we do follow-ups, not just 1, not just 2, but again, an average of 5 to 7, or often more. In fact, on that point, let's talk about some statistics. Very interesting statistics. Look at this. First line, 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. So no wonder that things are not really working out. We already know that the money is in the follow-ups, and it takes 5 to 7 follow-ups before we get a decision, yet first data says 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. Let's go down a few lines. Only 10% of people make more than 3 contacts. Again, I come back to what we know now, which is it will take an average of 3, correction, I'm reading the slide here. It will take an average of 5 to 7 follow-ups or contact before a prospect can make a decision. And if you go all the way down, it says 80% of sales are actually made on the 5th or all the way up to the 12th contact. So now with these statistics, you know really where you stand. You know that it's not necessary to push hard and to convince people to make an early decision. It doesn't mean they're not interested. It doesn't mean that they're not going to team up with you. It just means that it is normal for them to take time to think about it. And there's nothing worse than you take somebody in early on in the process because they've been convinced, maybe sometimes under undue pressure, and then they change their mind and then they decide to cancel and get their money back. You've wasted their time, you've wasted your time, you've wasted energy, and it's frustrating. So it is okay sometimes to slow down just a little bit. I'm really not advocating to procrastinate, but it is okay to slow down just a little bit so that you do this to be more respectful and more business conscious for your prospects, and they will appreciate that. Okay, so again, it's no wonder that associates get discouraged because, again, they not only understand fully the importance of the follow-up process, they not only understand that it may take 5, 6, 7 or more follow-up before they get a decision, but they don't even have a system in place. So associates don't know these things, and that's the reason why, number 1, they don't do it, but number 2, the reason why they actually fail. So again, congratulations, because now your online automated duplicable system can change all of this. And we are going to talk about this into greater details in the next video. And get ready, we've got some exciting stuff to share with you. So we'll see you soon.